Hello and welcome to our December 2017 webinar. We are glad you were able to join us today. I am just going to wait another minute or two and see if any of the other registrants are able to join, and then we will go ahead and get started. Thank you. All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Misty Sudbury and I will be hosting the webinar today. The purpose of this webinar is to outline the tools and features that are available to you as administrators within the HCP compliance program. Each month we focus on frequently used management functions and tools that will help you to fully utilize your compliance program. Today we will be paying special attention to the assessments that should be completed at least annually to help you to maintain your compliance. All right. As a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and will be published next week in the HCP Compliance Insider newsletter. There will be a link there so that you can view the webinar at your convenience. You can access this and any other webinars that HCP has hosted by visiting the News and Events section of the HCP website, which is right here. All right. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to post those using the GoToWebinar dashboard. We will hold a brief Q&A session at the end of the call and address any questions that come through. If there are any questions that we're not able to get to, we'll follow up via email on those. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I like to review on these webinars is the structure of the HCP website. We get a lot of questions from account administrators regarding the differences between the office level and the account level, and it can definitely be a source of confusion. So today I'd like to spend just a moment clarifying the reason that our program is designed this way, as well as the different functions that you can perform at each level. The first thing to note is that within the HCP program there are different levels of administrators. So you have account administrators. They can access the entire compliance program. So when an account administrator logs in, they see something similar to the screen you're looking at now. We also have office administrators. So if you have employees who need to have access to administrative tools but only in select offices or departments or locations, however you have your program set up, we can give them office admin access. And then there is also supervisor access, and a supervisor does not have the ability to view or access any administrative tools, but they are able to manage certain groups of employees. They can receive past due training reports and things like that to help them to manage employees that they supervise. So today we are viewing things as an account administrator, but I just like to let everybody know that there are different levels of access there, and we can help you to get your program set up and create the ability for different people to help you manage different portions of it. Now, you can manage a lot of the same things at both the account and office levels. In fact, some clients only have one office under their offices, and that's just fine. But the ability is there if you need to divide your account up to do so. The only difference in managing things at the account level versus the office level is that when you make customizations at the account, those customizations are for your entire organization. Whereas if you make customizations at the office level, those will only be visible to the employees who profiles in that particular office. So again, today we are going to be viewing things from an account administrator perspective. Again, account admin access can view the entire program, and they have access to both levels. So just remember, only account admins have access to this account level. So if you have an employee logging in saying, I only see my offices, or if you log in and only see offices, then let us know and we can certainly get everything set up the way that you need it to be. All right, I am going to hop over to the HCP website, and we're going to go over some of the most common tools or most common tasks that administrators perform within our program. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are going to focus on assessments, but I wanted to quickly go over a couple of other things that we see a lot. So I'm going to start by selecting your account under the My Accounts, and that will open your account dashboard. If you refresh the data on this dashboard report, you will get a snapshot current as of the day that you refresh it, letting you know where you stand with training, with assessments, with customizing your policies and procedures, with compliance management, different tools that may be part of your program. This is just a great place to go to get a really quick overview of where you stand as far as compliance is concerned. I want to go ahead and go down to the Employees tab and talk a little bit about managing your employee profiles. Within the employee profile, you are able to create new employees, delete terminated employees, edit existing profiles. You can transfer employees from one office or location to another. There's a lot that you can do here. So you can see this is a list of all of the employees for the entire account. Again, going back to that account versus office, you can manage employees at the office level as well. The only difference is when you're in an office, you will only see the employees who have profiles assigned to that office. So if you do have multiple locations or divisions and you're managing the whole thing, you will want to do this at the account level. So to do that, I just select an employee, and you can see here this pulls up their profile. If I click on this gray bar, it will pull up even more profile information. And from here you can make any changes needed. You can update their last name if they got married and had a name change, their email address, add their date of birth to their profile or their hire date, change their access level, and assign them a supervisor if needed. If you have an employee who's been terminated, you can enter a termination date here. That's just for reporting purposes. So then you would save the profile, and then you would remove that employee from all offices. Whenever you remove an employee who has been terminated, you will not lose that profile. It's archived. So at any time, if you need to access their training history or any documents that you have uploaded to that employee profile, you can always go back. It's in the reporting under the deleted tab. You can access any terminated employees from there. All right, you can also manage employee training assignments from here. So if I look at the current training assigned to this employee, I can see which courses they are assigned. If they've completed them, there would be check marks here and other information. I can edit the training assignments, so I can remove training assignments if I have decided I don't want this employee to take corporate compliance right now. I can go ahead and remove that course by clicking on the minus sign. I can send training invitations from here, and then of course you can add training as well if there are courses activated within your account that have not been assigned to the employee. Excuse me. You can also look at the training history for any employee. Look at all of their past training for years past. As I mentioned, you can transfer employees from one location to another, and there's instructions to do that here. You can give them administrative access if you've got an employee who is taking on some new responsibilities and you'd like them to have administrative access to a particular office. You can certainly do that here. And then if you have our HR services, you can also create employee-specific reminders and upload employee-specific documents. So if that's part of your subscription, you can do those. If you have questions on that or would like to add that, just let us know. The final thing I want to show you is creating a new employee. And again, you can do that here at the account level or at the office level. Simply click the Create Employee button there, enter the requested information, and create the user. And that will then open up your employees, or it will create the profile for your employee, and then you would go in and assign the training to that employee. So that is how you will manage your employees at the account level. The other task that we want our account administrators to know how to do and that we get a lot of questions about is customizing your policies and procedures. As a reminder, Healthcare Compliance Pros manages the content of your courses, which are your policies and procedures. If there's changes to the law or to compliance regulations, we will notify you, but we will also update your policies with that information. There is minimal customization that needs to be done within each course, and that was most likely done when you set up your account. But if you do ever see a red setup next to one of your modules, you can just click that and it will take you through a wizard, setup wizard to customize your slides. We recommend at least annually that you go through all of your slides and view things that you have customized to ensure that it's still accurate, that it's up to date, and that nothing has changed. And then additionally, we want you to know that you can really make these modules your own. They are sufficient as they are. They include everything that's required. However, you can really customize them as much as you would like if you want them to really be specific to your needs. You can do that by adding new slides. If you have, for example, a social media policy, you may want to add that to our existing HR module. You can definitely do that. You can also hide slides. I'll use the HR module again. There's slides on education assistance, and maybe you don't offer that. You can hide that slide so it does not appear in your training or your policies. You can you can add content to any existing slide. So if I open the HIPAA privacy course here, you'll see the slide deck. You'll notice the gray boxes. If they're empty, that just means that no customization has been added to that slide. HCP manages the content, and you don't need to worry about that at all. Down at the bottom, there is a legend also, just so you know. If you see a green check mark within a slide, that means that there has been customization added to that. So those are the slides that at least annually you should take a look at and make sure that the information is still correct. And then if it has a red box, that's one that needs some customization in order to meet compliance policy or regulations. So for example, here it's asking who would your staff contact if they suspected abuse or neglect, and maybe you have call the local authorities, or if you have someone within your practice that that they should notify. But just to show you an example, of how to customize an existing slide, you would just enter the information here and save the settings. You can also change the color of the font, and you can make it bold. And then what you'll notice is at the bottom of that slide now, there's the information that you have added. So you can do this within any slide, within any course. You can come in and add information to give your employees a little bit more detail on your specific policies and how you would like them to manage certain things within your organization. The core content of the slides is designed to not allow you to edit it. And the reason for that is most of the language comes directly from government entities such as HHS, OSHA, CMS, and it's required to be there. If you ever find that there is some core content in a slide that you need to make some changes to, please reach out to your representative and they can help you learn how to do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move along. I'm going to click on my name up here, and this will always take me back to the home page. And now I'm going to go into the office level. Again, here at the office level, you're going to see a lot of the same things. Employees tab, you can manage the employees that are in this office. Reminders hub, modules. If you make changes to the modules at the office level, those changes are only going to be visible to the employees who have their profile here within this office. So if you're making changes that you want your entire organization to be able to see, make sure you're doing that at the account level. I want to spend a few moments now going over the tools and assessments. It's the time of year where everyone's getting ready for year end, and we are seeing a lot of security risk analysis submissions come in. So I wanted to take a moment to review the security risk analysis that HCP offers and let you know that that is a tool that's available. If you do not currently have the SRA as part of your subscription, but you're interested in it, please reach out to your representative and they can talk to you about what that would look like to add it to your program. If I open the security risk analysis here, it's going to open up the series of questions that are part of the assessment. And there's a few things I just want to mention here. You have these tools up here. The history folder is what's going to be most important to you as years go on, because this is where your past SRAs that you have submitted will be archived. So you'll be able to come here at any time and you can view past SRAs, the comments that were made by our compliance team, any attachments you uploaded, things in that nature. If it's the first time you've done the SRA, you'll just start at the beginning. It's very user-friendly. This system saves your progress as you go, so you don't need to complete it all at once. But you'll just go through as you get down to the different sections. When you open each question, it's going to give you a brief tutorial or overview of what the law is. And then it's going to ask you the question. When you answer the question, we ask that you put as much information as possible to accompany your answer here in the text box. And then you'll just save and continue and move along. When you are done answering each question. The assessment does give you an automated risk probability level. This is not an exact science, but it will give you a really good idea of areas that you may need to strengthen your policies and procedures. Once you complete it, the real value in this tool is by submitting the report. When you submit your report, it's going to alert our HIPAA specialists, and they will reach out to you, schedule some time to talk with you. They'll go over your SRA line by line and address, they'll ask you any questions that they saw that were red flags and answer any questions that you may have for them. And then they'll provide you with a summary and a corrective action plan for the year. So this is required as part of HIPAA. It's required to do an SRA annually. And the HCP tool is a very user-friendly tool that meets all of those requirements. In addition to the SRA, we have some other assessments that should be completed on an annual basis. We have the OSHA self-inspection and the HIPAA virtual walkthrough. If these are not part of your program, again, please reach out to your representative and they'll be happy to help you with that. These tools are very helpful in bringing to your attention items that may need to be addressed. Maybe you need to retrain some of your employees or just strengthen your procedures on certain policies. The OSHA self-inspection is going to be looking at things that an OSHA inspector would be looking for. Things like sharps containers that are too full, tripping hazards, top-heavy filing cabinets, things of that nature. And the HIPAA virtual walkthrough is looking for things that a HIPAA auditor would be looking for, such as PHI coming through a fax machine that is not being monitored, PHI being thrown in the trash rather than shredded, things like that a HIPAA auditor would notice. And the great thing about these tools is they're very similar to the format of the SRA. You just work your way through. We recommend that if you have a tablet or something that you can actually walk around your practice as you complete these, that's very helpful. But you just work your way through, and again, it's going to provide you with an automated risk probability, so you'll know right away what areas need your attention. And the idea is it just helps you to ensure that you are meeting all the compliance standards and gives you the opportunity to address any areas of concern before an auditor or inspector addresses those for you. All right. Again, these tools and assessments are located within the office level, just on your office dashboard. And the reason for this is if you do have multiple locations, you can complete these tools for each location, or you can complete these assessments for each location. The SRA only needs to be done once for your entire organization, but the OSHA self-inspection and HIPAA virtual walkthrough should be done at each physical location. All right, so with that is all that I have for you today. So I'm going to take a moment and see if we have any questions come in. I do want to mention that I have attached a couple of handouts to this webinar. One is regarding the HCP security risk analysis, and the other one is a little instruction sheet on how to manage your employee profiles. So feel free to download those if you'd like, and let's just take a moment and see if we have any questions that have come in. Just one moment. All right, so a question that has come in is, does my SRA have to be completed at the end of the year? And the answer to that is no. In fact, we would love if they came in more throughout the year rather than all at the end of the year. We see a significant spike in submissions towards the end of the year, but you can actually complete your SRA at any time. It just needs to be done annually, so at least once during the calendar year. All right. Can I reinstate a terminated employee that has been rehired? Absolutely. So let me go back to the HCP website. To do this, you would need to be an account administrator, and you would need to go to the account level. And what you would do is go to the reporting tab, and then under the deleted tab, you'll find the employees that have been terminated from your practice. You can just open that employee profile. This is again where you would go if you needed to access their training history or any documents you've uploaded to their profile. And then this is also where you would go to reinstate an employee. So you would just select transfer, and you would add the employee back in to your account here by selecting which office they need to have their profile in. I also want to show you here at the Settings tab, there is a Technical Support section. And from here, there are several different documents with step-by-step instructions on different tools that, different tasks that you may need to complete within the program. You're always welcome to reach out to your representative, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have. But if you prefer to find the answer yourself, you can find a lot right here under this technical support section. All right. Okay, it looks like that is all that has come in. As a reminder, we do host these webinars monthly, the first Friday of every month at 1 o'clock Eastern. All webinars are published the following week and will be sent out in our Compliance Insider newsletter with a link for you to view at your convenience. Our next webinar will be Friday, January 5th. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach out to me directly. Again, my name is Misty. You may also reach out to your client relations specialist or to our support team, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So I want to thank you for joining our webinar today. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen in, and we hope to hear from you soon and are happy to help with anything you need. Have a great day. Thank you.